Hey ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's Papa Bale, welcome to the channel. And I'm slowly but surely putting together my pulse motor generator that I wanted to build since I started doing this. This is just a first, I guess, shot at doing so. So this drive coil, there's a drive coil on the other side. Same deal, they got too hot, they shrunk a little bit, so I had to epoxy them in there. As far as I can tell, the enamel has not burnt off yet. It's a PLA material, can't handle a lot of heat. Alright, so we are going to turn this on. Oh, wait. Do that first. We'll just put this in here like that. Now hold it, let it get real loose in there. We're already at 34 volts. 40 volts. 50 volts. Look at it go. Wow, that's awesome. 55 volts. 60 volts. That's one coil, guys. Air coil at that. Alright, now I think it's starting to overheat. I'm going to turn off the power. We're going to, I guess, ABS. Or maybe a different power supply. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. I've never had this problem before, and I don't use circuitry, so it's like this is new. I think it has to do with how many amps are being pushed through this box. But I'm aiming to have a strong coast, so I'm not going to use cores, even though because it's not the point. The point is for this thing to keep running, not forever. Who gives a fuck about forever? You're not going to live forever. But to keep going longer than it would otherwise. Can the energy be recycled? I'm not asking you if the energy can make it perpetually work. That's not the question. Okay, like an alternator, make things go farther than they were actually meant to go. Such as a battery. Well, I mean, alternate, they work hand in hand, so I can't say that's a good example. Alright. See, like right here is a strong coast. It's at 8 volts. It's been at 8 volts for like a long time. But it should be able to coast like this, but faster for a longer period of time. I don't know why it slows down like that. Anyway, all right. So this coil has reverse flyback diode attached. Coil in the back does not. It's a 4-filer coil, and I just wasn't sure because everything on that side has got to be hooked up opposite to the ones on this side for it to run together, because the magnets are all aligned the same way. Trust me, you gotta flip which one you plug in first. So the end of the coil gets the power first, and the beginning of the coil has a power exit on the other side. On this side, the coil starts from the beginning and exits on the end of the electricity. And just, you gotta take my word for it, man. You hook it up the same way and you're not going anywhere. And I think it's pretty much because the magnets are the opposite pole. It's that simple. And the gen coil that we were using is a 38 gauge wire coil. I don't think I'm doing any more 38 gauge wire coils. I might do 36. Might do 36. Because they break. They break too easily. I had two 38 gauge coils. And one of them on the ends just totally broke at the seam. And there was no saving it. It was the beginning part. Just totally broke off inside the coil, and I'm like, great. That's so I want to avoid that from happening. 36 we're gonna try, because I know why. I have 42 gauge wire in there right now. Strong magnetic pole. Oh my god, dude, we're already at 50 volts. $60, 64 volts. 65 volts. When I get some more sophisticated equipment in here, get maybe a pulse generator. 70 volts we're gonna get. Oh. That is so cool. Right around 60 volts on one coil. And what I'm kind of wondering, can I use all this to energize a rodent coil and use that? Because, you know, once we gather and collect all this AC energy or spike energy, whatever you want to call it, and we filter it through some capacitors and a bridge rectifier, yeah, I think that'll be absolutely excellent. Some DC electricity and put it in a rodent coil, see what happens. I'm trying to get that vortex of magnetism in the center that allows things to levitate or to charge wirelessly. Do you have to, I wonder, excuse me, you have to do a 3D rodent coil, or if a 2D one would be good enough? Because you still get the little vortex design in the center. Yeah, I think that would be great if that would work, because that doesn't really require anything special. You just plug the negative and the positive in, and I think I need to get some bare wire, is what somebody told me. Bare copper. But yeah, you see with the coast, that voltage tapers down so slowly. And that's all good stuff up to a certain point. You get them down around 1 or 2 volts, you really can't count on that. But like this right here, if you put that into something really sensitive, like that's enough for it. 6 AC volts, man. And I'm thinking like some bare copper wire might actually be what I need to do here. Oh man, so I know that this stuff gets really hot, and I think it is the top power supply. I got the currents turned all the way up. Probably shouldn't do that. Well, what I do is I turn the current all the way up, and then if it requires current, it'll draw on the current. But we'll just try that. One more run, guys. We'll see if this is special or whatever. This is 2 volts. Oh no, it didn't go. Okay. So we'll open up the current just a little bit more. A little bit more voltage. This is 4 volts. 0.1 amps. Now these four filer coils and these bifilar coils are really sensitive. So 11 volts is pretty strong. You want to catch just a fringe of the magnetic field. Magnets are spaced out far enough to allow that to happen. So I think this switch is kind of lackluster. I mean, it's great, but something happens where it gets up to a certain speed and then it just stops. And that just stopped and went in the other direction. I don't understand why. Wow, that's awesome. Goes right through the wall here. Yeah, something's not gliding very good. Yeah, we got some friction here. You can hear it. It's like 0.5 milliamps and 11 volts. See, now if you do this when the power's off, I mean, it's still pulsing. I don't know if there's any power running through it right now, but I've had it where the power is running, you know, one of these is filtered through, and if you use one of these doing that, it'll pulse out just like it pulsed in, so it'll last longer. And that's why we gotta utilize the coast. The coast is like one of the most important things of this whole spin phenomenon, is how long will it go without power. Because like in the universe, okay, we're not saying we know everything anymore, but say the Big Bang is real. The bang, the explosion, and everything starts going everywhere and moving around and stuff, was the spark. And that's gone. I mean, its energy is still here because everything's still moving, but essentially the power's off. And everything that's left is a remnant of that explosion. And I always ask, like, what's the difference between the electricity coming out of here and the electricity in the wall? And we say, let's go to the root wall, we've got several nuclear reactions happening, backing that up. So the amps and the wattage coming from there is extremely regulated. You know what I mean? It's, and this can't even, make it up to the point where it needs to be regulated. That's the difference. I mean, that's 240 AC outlet. If I make 240 AC volts on this thing, it doesn't mean that I can now plug something that runs on 240 volts and it'll work. That is not what that means. I used to think so. I'm like, hey man, why isn't this working? And it's because of a lot of things. And some of them can be overcome by precision and some of them can't. I'd love to see you try. I really, really would, man. You guys see me try every day. But, like, I told myself, enough talk. I have ideas. I'm going to do something about it. And give me your ideas. I will build it for you. As long as it's simple. I'm getting into resistors, transistors, diodes. But don't give me no 555 timer crap. I don't know what that is. Get that out of my face. I buy honey and I kiss it on the lips. Okay? I've experimented with winding different coils. I've wound star coils. I've wound bifilar coils. I've wound 4-filar coils. I haven't done any pancake coils yet. I'm probably going to get into that relatively soon. But, the infrared, I'm trying to get into that kind of thing. So that, there's multiple ways that you are charging your EV as you drive. And there should be no reason by like 2050 why you can't drive all the way fucking across the country in an EV. Not a reason in the world. With all the ways that we can charge as we go, and we just need to implement that. Infrared in the hubcaps, man. Just beam the freaking electricity right to you when you're driving. Why? Why not? Why not? Not every idea has to be practical. Not every idea has to be a good idea. You know what I'm trying? And nobody gets what I'm trying to say. If it's not like, bam, 5 million views, you scrap it, and it's like, come on, man, get it out there at least. Because we're tired of waiting on you. You know what I mean? I got this thing going. My initials are M.P.H, okay? I got this thing going M.P.H. Just now, like before I started to film. It was going pretty good there. I mean, I got up to 65 volts. And that's just one coil right here, man. If I do all these and get them in a series circuit, we're talking 400 volts, maybe. And then I got the other side too. It's exactly the same as this side. It's got a 4-filar coil right here, all plastered in. So essentially, there's 2 drive coils and 14 generator coils. And this rotor has 8 magnets on it. I'm thinking about making another rotor with like 12 or 9. 11 or 9. I don't want 12 anymore. It's too many, and really interferes with how the switches work. Because you get the magnets, and if they're even just a little bit too close together, it counts as one magnet. And there's no pulse there because they're so close together that it just recognizes it as one big magnet. I'm going to try one more thing, and then we're going to call it. I'm going to try and use this. A high frequency reed switch. I don't know if it's still functional or not. Yeah, I think this one's broken. Yeah, it would still be working better than that. Dang. Okay. Wow. Huh. It's working somewhat. So I don't think the reed's working. All right. Well, that sucked, but that's okay. Oh, I have some Adreno reed switches. I'm gonna go get those and we'll try those out. Thank you very much. Peace out. Have a good night. Please subscribe.